Hello, and welcome to this new episode on the subtle kind of burnout behind always holding it all together. There's a kind of exhaustion that no amount of sleep or perfect diet can fix. It's not just physical tiredness, it's the deep, bone level fatigue that comes from constantly holding it all together. If you ever felt that you were doing everything right, meditating, eating well, practicing yoga, and still found yourself anxious, unfulfilled, or disconnected, I see you. Because that was me too. This week, I'm sharing with you a very personal story. For years, yoga was my anchor, my safe place. It gave me structure, focus, and community. But underneath all the asanas and namastes, something in me still felt off, like I was performing calm instead of actually feeling it. Burnout, in my experience, doesn't always arrive with dramatic exhaustion or breakdowns. It often shows up quietly, disguised as productivity, passion, or ambition. It feels like constantly having something to prove, needing to do more, or that subtle hum of anxiety that never really leaves you. And because the world around us celebrates that kind of high functioning stress, it becomes invisible. We call it normal. Until one day, it isn't. In 2018, I was deep in my corporate career, and I genuinely loved parts of it. The sense of achievement, the travel, the rhythm of always having a goal. And it seemed that I had it all together. I was even practicing yoga regularly, which made me feel like I was kind of balancing it all out. I would rush to class after a long day, move through the poses, breathe, sweat, and feel that temporary relief. But the truth is, even on the mat, I was still in the same pattern, achieving, performing, pushing. I wasn't really feeling or listening. I was, ironically, still numbing and coping instead. I was simply transferring my high achieving tendencies into my yoga practice. But embodiment and performance are not the same thing. And the truth is, many of us use yoga to escape rather than be present without even noticing it. My emotional and mental burnout wasn't one dramatic event, more like a quiet realization that built up over time. The real turning point came when my physical body finally said enough. I ended up in the hospital with a serious illness that forced me to stop everything and rethink my whole life. It wasn't a breakdown in the emotional sense. It was my body's way of saying, you cannot keep living the way you do. And in that stillness, when all I could do was lie down, breathe, and survive the pain, something in me started to shift. During my recovery, I couldn't go back to the kind of yoga I used to do. My body simply couldn't handle it anymore. And that's when I found yin yoga, actually by accident. When I literally stumbled into yin yoga, it wasn't because I was looking for something deeper. At the time, I was living in Germany, and I had no idea what kind of yoga class I just joined. The title and the schedule didn't give much away, and the teacher explained something about it, but that time my German was so broken that I completely missed the point. I was a bit surprised, of course, why we held the poses so long, and I didn't understand the meridians or fascia or any of the theory behind it yet. But I definitely felt it, in a way I hadn't felt anything in a long time. Something about the stillness, the quiet, the way the practice invited me to just be instead of do, landed somewhere deep. I couldn't name it yet, but my body knew this was something different. And it felt quite uncomfortable at first. The silence, the stillness, the long holds exposed all the things I had neatly tucked away. the anxiety, the resentment, the exhaustion. I thought I had worked through. But as I stayed with it, something profound began to happen. My breath softened, my arm started to melt, and my body, which I had been keeping under control for years, finally started speaking up. I began to notice sensations I had never paid attention to before. The way sorrow sat in my chest, how anxiety hummed in my belly. It was confronting. It was humbling. And it was very, very real. And I felt I needed more of this. Over time, yin yoga became more than just a practice. It became a mirror. Every posture revealed how honest I was willing to be with myself. Unlike fast-paced yoga styles that kept me distracted, yin yoga slowed me down enough to meet what I had been avoiding. It taught me that healing isn't about fixing yourself, but it's about befriending the parts of you that don't need to be fixed. I wanted to immerse myself deeper into the theory behind to understand how this works so powerfully. So in 2021, I completed both my trauma-informed yoga teacher training and my Yin Yoga and Chinese Meridians course back to back as I used up all my limited corporate holidays at that time. These courses have set me on the path I am still on today. What changed? Definitely my relationship with yoga and with myself has completely shifted. I had no longer practiced to become better at yoga. I practiced to become present. I stopped overriding my nervous system and started listening to it. And for the first time, I felt what safety actually meant, not as an idea, but as a felt sense. And that's when I knew this was the missing piece, not just for me, but for so many others who are doing yoga and still feeling disconnected. Because most yoga spaces teach movement, but not embodiment, breath, but not regulation, stillness, but not safety. And this is what drives my work today, helping students and teachers understand how yin yoga is different. It's not passive. It's profoundly active in the nervous system, emotional and energetic bodies. And it's not just about stretching tissues. It's about unwinding what is stored in these tissues. If you have been practicing yoga, yet still feel something is missing, if you have a tendency to hold it all together, but your body is asking for something different, this might be your first step too. If my story speaks to you, I invite you to pause, to feel, to try something else. And I created a free resource for you, the Emotional and Nervous System Yin Reset, to help you experience this shift yourself. Maybe this experience will be your doorway into the kind of healing that doesn't demand effort, only presence. I will share the link in the description to access this free offering. Give it a try and let me know how it landed for you. Thank you so much for being here, and I see you in the next one.